everyone, welcome back to Bleed Electrical. This is course on Energy Management and Audit, and I am Triveli Naidu from the Department of Electrical Engineering at St. Vincent College of Engineering and Technology, Nagpur. In the previous video, I've already explained to you about plant energy performance. If you have not watched the previous video, you'll find the link in the description box. Now in this video, I'll be talking about energy audit instruments. So let's get started. This video is all about energy audit instruments. Now, as we all know, when we go into an industry, there are certain measurements that need to be done. It could be electrical measurements, it could be mechanical measurements. So let's start with the electrical measuring instruments. The electrical measurements could be done for active power, reactive power, then apparent power. It could be for power factors, frequencies, then current and voltage. So many meters could be used. You could use a multimeter, you could use an ammeter, a voltmeter, and so many things that you have been studying since the beginning. Now, in addition to these, some meters also measure harmonics. So these instruments could be applied online also on running motors. That is, without stopping the motor, you can use these meters. Okay, so instant measurements could be taken, and you have to properly document all these readings and take printouts of it for a specified interval of time. So you have different electrical measuring instruments being used in energy audit. Now, talking about certain mechanical measurements, we have combustion analyzers. We know in many of the industries we have furnaces, so it becomes important to us to know whether the gas is in proper volume or not. So combustion analyzers are there. This instrument has chemical cells, okay. It measures various gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxide, and sulfur oxides. So all these things could be measured. As you see, this is a sensor over here, and accordingly it gives you readings on its display. Okay, so this is a combustion analyzer which helps you out to know all these gases. Then fuel efficiency monitors. It tells you the efficiency of the fuel that you are using. How is it possible? You see over here, there's a input contact over here. So input could be, what is the input? Input could be the calorific value that you are feeding to this microprocessor, and this microprocessor in turn will calculate the combustion efficiency and it will display to you on its monitor. So that is how you find out the fuel efficiency. So this is a fuel efficiency monitor. Now next, you have a Fire-Rite. What is this Fire-Rite now? Fire-Rite especially in order to measure the level of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Now how is it possible? It is based on actually volumetric analysis of all these gases, okay. It has to have a certain reagent into these tubes, okay. For oxygen, generally we use chromous chloride, okay, and carbon dioxide, the reagent is potassium chloride, potassium hydroxide. So these could be the chemicals that could be used in order to measure this oxygen and carbon dioxide. It has a bellow pump. This bellow pump you can find over here. You find a bellow pump over here. It draws the flue gases and the sample into the solution inside this Fire-Rite, and you see there is a scale over here. Although this picture is very small, you are not able to see the scale, but there is a certain rise in this volume, okay, the volume of the gases, the volume of the reagent that you have given into this tube. So this is how you find out the level of oxygen and carbon dioxide and measure it. Okay, this is a Fire-Rite, okay. Then water flow meter. Now you got to find out what is the flow rate. Okay, in this pipe, for example, you find a meter over here. It could be used with a Doppler effect, okay, ultrasonic principles. What does it do? Actually, this is particularly used in order to find out the impurities present in the liquid. The impurities present, because see what happens, what is a Doppler effect? It sends signals, it sends you ultrasonic waves, and when this ultrasonic waves come in contact with the colloidal impurities, then what will happen? All the impurities that are inside this liquid, it will reflect back, and soon after it reflects back, you come to know what is the water flow. Okay, and how many impurities are present in the pipeline, that also you are able to calculate. So this water flow meter is really very important when it comes to energy auditing. Okay, so this is how it works. Then lux meters, obviously, what is the illumination ka unit kya hota hai? It is lux. So lux meters is basically something that measures illumination, that is light. Okay, so it consists of a photocell. It senses the light output, it converts it into electrical impulses, and then it is calibrated as lux. So you find out how much illumination is there inside an industry. So this is how it helps you out in energy auditing. Okay, then next, talking about thermometer. Thermometer could be contact type and non-contact type. If I see the contact thermometer, usually we find it, okay, we have more or less seen the contact type of thermometers, for example, for measuring the fever and all for homemade purposes. Okay, so we usually find a contact thermometer, but nowadays, as we are struggling with COVID-19, so we find this infrared thermometer coming into picture. See, wherever the measurements could be done manually, we could use the contact thermometer, but where we cannot insert the thermometer, there the places there we use infrared thermometer. So this is a non-contact type of measurement, which when directed at a heat source directly gives the temperature readout. Okay, and this instrument is useful measuring the hot spots in furnaces and surface temperatures, etc. Okay, so this is how you use. You could either have a contact type of thermometer or you could have a infrared type of thermometer. Then pitot tube and manometer. Now, what is this pitot tube and manometer? The air velocity in the ducts can be measured using a pitot tube and inclined manometer for further calculation of flows. This is basically for the air velocity, for the pressure measurement. Okay, so you are using this pitot tube and manometer. Okay, next you have speed measurements. Now speed measurements also has the following funda. Okay, you got to have a non-contact type, you got to have a contact type. So speed measurements could be with these two things. Okay, it could be a contact type, it could be a non-contact type. If you see in the electrical machines lab or any other labs, you find a contact type, that is a tachometer. It is generally available to you, where you can find the speed of the motor, whatever motor is there, induction motor or be it the DC motor. You can measure the speed easily. But where the things could be not in contact, like many a times what happens, the interior device is altogether all insulated and isolated from the outside world. So we cannot find out in that case. So in that case, you use a stroboscope. Okay, these are non-contact type of speed measuring instrument. So this is speed measurements. Then you have leak detectors. So leak detectors are what? The ultrasonic instruments that are available, which can be used to detect the leaks of compressed air or other gases, which could not be normally done, okay, with human ability. So this is a proper sensor, okay, which detects the leaks. So this is how you can have different instruments in energy auditing, and many other more instruments could be also used in energy audit based on the applications. These are the basics one. So that's all for this video. I hope you understood this well. Okay, keep watching the videos. Thank you so very much. In the next video, I'll be discussing on Energy Conservation Act.